Man, it's finally here. I believe this is the first one in the United States, a Kawasaki Ninja ZX14R. Stay with me, this is going to be a blast. Let's get this thing started up. Look at that. That's the nose of it. Let's get this thing started up. We're in full power mode. We're in the first Kawasaki traction control mode. This thing's got 190 on the speedometer, and it'll do every bit of it. Let's get going here, and we'll start going over the facts about this motorcycle. First thing you'll notice is the clutch pull is super easy. Huge thank you to Plano Kawasaki, Suzuki, Aprilia, Moto Guzzi, Vespa. Man, they've got all this stuff. They're usually the first one to get it in the United States because they're such a high volume dealer. I'll tell you one thing, nobody is going to look at you on the road and probably, well, scratch that. They'll probably want to race you. There's some of them out there. But this thing is a 1,441 cc's. This bike makes 190 horsepower, I believe, at the rear wheel. Yeah, 190 horsepower. It does have underslung rear caliper, and I'll get off and show you that here in just a minute. We got to get on the road. I am biting at the bit to ride this. Plano Kawasaki Suzuki, man, that clutch pull is super easy. Oh my god. Oh yeah, you can tell it makes 116 foot-pounds of torque at 7,500 RPM. Your red line is 11,000. It's a little bit cool out here today, so we're not gonna take it to the moon in these corners. You do have 4 Kawasaki traction control modes, and basically it's 3, and then you can turn it off. And I'll show you that here in a second on the dash. But what an incredible bike. This thing weighs 593 pounds. And man, it is just so precise. Your front forks are 43 millimeter. They're fully adjustable, compression, rebound, dampening. The back shock is as well. I'll tell you what, let's go back out here on the road, man. This is so much fun. I'm in full power mode. Let me show you this dash real quick. Let me get in the sun. It is LCD, which it's backlit at night. So we're in full power. You could change that right there. You'll push the select button. We'll go down one. There's 2 rider modes, low and full. And I believe the low setting it makes 75% of the horsepower. Let's go back up to the full power mode. That's the funnest. Then you can go to your Kawasaki traction control there. So you'll push it till it flashes. We'll push it down. Well, let's turn it off. Down is actually going up. So we'll go up here. There we go. We push the up button. You can turn it off. Also, too, it's got your water temp, your time, your trip. This is a new bike. First thing I can tell you also, I always say first thing when it's on about the third thing, is, man, it is super smooth. Let's take this thing out here and give it a pretty good little run out here. I tell you what, this thing does have the torque. This is for, yeah, it'll pull that, woo! It'll pull your arms out of the sockets. The only thing that would really compare to this bike is the Suzuki Hayabusa. And the 25s are fixing to drop here at Plano Kawasaki. They're due in any day. They got a really new color, like a camo green color. But that's really the only 2 bikes in this class. Man. I tell you what, it is super. 593 pounds, but the weight is so low slung. Also too, the wheelbase on this thing is 85 inches long. Not the wheelbase, the total length is 85 inches long. And the wheelbase is 56 inches long. Your clutch lever is adjustable over here, if you can see that button, or you can turn that. And I know I'm going to get somebody in the comments. Let's go up in this parking lot and I'll do a drive by this window, show it to you. It's very comfortable. You actually, oh my God, there's my car. I will have one of those one day. That is my car. I'm gonna have to come back and have lunch with it. But anyways, you can see in the window how I'm sitting. You are leaned forward, but it's not uncomfortable. That guy is probably in that building going, God, man, I've always wanted one of those motorcycles. And he's got the ultimate car. This bike would actually, I don't know if that's 1,000 horsepower car, but that's what it would take to beat this bike. Let's get out here. We'll take a ride here. I'm going to jump off the bike and just walk around it with you. Make sure if you like this kind of content that you hit that subscribe button and like it. Man, the channel, we have done a ton of growing this year. That neutral is super easy to find. It does have a torque limiting back clutch design, so if you were to gas the bike and ride it hard into a corner, and it would limit the torque. Let's get off this thing. It does have a seat under this. It is LED taillights. Those are bulbs. You could always change those. But look at this bike. 190, 50, 17 on the rear. Look at this tire. I'd probably take that silly rear fender off. But look at that. Woo! That's awesome, son. This is the first year for this color, and this is the only color you can get it in the United States. There's your Brembo monoblock front calipers. This does have steel braided brake lines for the brakes and the clutch lever. It is a Brembo unit up here, which you can see their insignia. These are adjustable with adjusting that nut. Look at the intake on this. Whoa. Man, tell me that ain't a bad cat daddy from Cincinnati. Woo! This thing is 45 inches tall, 40 inches wide from the back. Or not from the back. Total width is 30 inches. It is, like I said, 86 inches long, the total length. This is the only color you can get it in. It does have Kawasaki traction control and ABS. That's how it comes. This bike, I believe, is actually cheaper than last year's. It's $17,699, I believe. If that's not right, I'll put the right number up in this video. Your mirrors, the mirrors are super stable. Let's get back on it. There's your hydraulic clutch with your steel braided line. It does have oil sight glass right here where you could stand it up and see where your oil level's at. Woo, look at them fans going on that radiator. Yep, turned off. These are large radiators, so this is not going to be a burn your leg, barbecue leg motorcycle. Let's get back on it and give it a go. There's your underslung caliper. That's a major race feature on motorcycles that race on the track. Let's get back on it. Here we go. Take it off the kickstand, put it in gear. We're fixing to take this out to the service road. Man, just those brakes are awesome. Brembo brakes, monoblocks, 4 caliper pistons. I mean, that's super bike level stuff. This is a very comfortable ride. This is I think they classify it as a sport touring bike, but it can definitely do both. I would, yeah, I could see sport touring. Let's get out here. Here we go. Oh yeah, pull that front wheel off the ground, just barely hitting the throttle. Man, this is a awesome bike. Chuck, I know you're looking at a Hayabusa, but you might ought to look at one of these. This is 100 more cc's than a Hayabusa. It's just whatever brand you like. But the good thing about it is plain old Kawasaki sells both the Suzuki and the Kawasaki. Man, we're going to take a right. They're going to brake check us here, I guess. Somebody's wanting to go to Red Lobster. Get them an all-you-can-eat shrimp. I'm crazy, I know. I got screws loose. Let's go here. Turn that blinker on. You push that blinker in to self-cancel it right there. Push it in. Your horn's down here. But man, what an awesome bike right here. Man, I tell you what, huge thank you to plain old Kawasaki, Suzuki, Aprilia. I know you hear me talking about them all the time. All their information is always in the description of every video. We have done 70, I think it's 70 or 71 videos. This year we've had 1.6 million views, which is unbelievable. And I believe 6,800 subscribers joined the channel. But man, what an awesome year. That neutral is super easy to find. I tell you what, thank y'all for riding with me. Look up plain old Kawasaki, Suzuki, Aprilia if you get a chance. We'll see you on the next one.